I'm in the Arabian Sea overlooking the Gateway of India, probably one of Mumbai's most recognizable landmarks. I come here often. In fact, these ferry rides are my secret getaways from all the hustle and bustle of Mumbai. I often wonder what must have gone through the mind of King George V as his ship approached the coast of Mumbai in 1911. Did he feel a sense of anticipation? Or did he experience the same sense of timeless wonder as I do now? The Gateway of India was built to commemorate King George V's visit to India. But no one, including King George V, could have imagined then what Mumbai would evolve into just a century later. India's most flamboyant city, where 21st century skyrises sit cheek by jowl with centuries-old Gothic palaces. A chutney of cultures where the past, present and future coexist peacefully, where change and evolution are the only constants, and where the party never ends. Hello and welcome to this episode of Go India Maharashtra. I'm Sushma Reddy and we are in Mumbai, the capital of Maharashtra, the financial capital of India, and my very own hometown. In this episode, we explore Maharashtra's Konkan region, famous for its numerous pristine beaches, its many mighty forts, and its uniquely delicious cuisine. On our agenda for today, an in-depth exploration of South Mumbai, my hometown. A sojourn down the western coast of India on board the super luxurious Deccan Odyssey. And a trip to Tarkali, famous for its idyllic waters, its exotic houseboats, and its very own laid-back attitude. There's also a visit to a fort that stands in the middle of the ocean, some high adrenaline water sports, and time out as we soak in all the local charm and color. Rich, diverse, evocative, and always surprising. This is Maharashtra. Energetic, chic, hyper, chaotic, and ultimately addictive. Mumbai was named an Alpha World City in 2009, and it is certainly that, and much, much more. Home to over 20 million souls today, it is hard to believe that just 150 years ago, Mumbai was no more than a sparsely populated archipelago of 7 islands. Home to no one but the indigenous Koli, who lived off the sea as they had for centuries. But starting in the late 1700s, the development of Mumbai as one of the great port cities of the world began. And it continues to do so to this day. You don't have to read a statistics report to figure out that Mumbai is the wealthiest city in India. One look at its rapidly growing skyline, its multitude of designer brand stores, and its chic bars, eateries and night spots can do that. In fact, Mumbai, home to both the National and the Mumbai Stock Exchange, has the highest GDP of any city in South, West or Central Asia. And once you fall in love with Mumbai and its extremes, there's no going back. One of Mumbai's greatest attractions is the old world charm it still retains. Marine Drive, or the Queen's Necklace as it's popularly known, has the second largest number of Art Deco buildings in a single location in the world. There's a fabulous architecture of South Mumbai's 100-year-old commercial district, a charming blend of Gothic revival, Indo-Saracenic, and other contemporary styles with architectural features that boast a wide variety of European influences. And then there's Colaba, the single best place to soak in Mumbai's old-world ambience, with its century-old buildings, its multitude of little stores and establishments, and its charming Irani cafes, where I'm about to meet a friend for breakfast. In many ways, Irani restaurants represent the quintessential nature of cosmopolitan Mumbai. Originally opened by Persian immigrants to India in the 19th century, these establishments quickly became famous. And even today, their old-world interiors, their distinctive fare, and their tradition of surly service continue to make them popular with locals and tourists alike.
How are you?
Very well. I hope I didn't keep you waiting so long. Cafe Mondiga is one of the two most popular Irani restaurants on Colaba Causeway. The other one being Leopold Cafe, just down the road. And here life is lived one beer at a time.
The big one over there.
Ah, you like Mario Miranda?
Yeah.
You know, Mario was a really famous artist. An interesting feature about Mondi's, as it is popularly known, are the cartoons that adorn its walls. The work of the late Goan cartoonist Mario Miranda. Do you know what this is?
No, what's this?
This is called akuri. It's a specialty of all the old Irani restaurants around Mumbai. Try it and just tell me what you
Try
think.
it.
Nice?
Delicious.
Mondi's also has a jukebox, probably the only functional one in all Mumbai. And it is the perfect place to chill out when visiting Colaba Causeway. Ah, what's that?
I've got a list.
A list? A list of what?
Shopping.
Someone once described Colaba Causeway as the culture square of Mumbai, and I couldn't agree more. A sensory overload for some, a delight for others. One thing is certain, it is a shopper's paradise. But beware, there are rules to shopping on Causeway, and if you don't know how to haggle and bargain, you'll be taken for a joyous ride. The first rule of haggling on Colaba Causeway: if you like something, don't let it show. Rule number 2, always express shock and indignation at the quoted price. Rule number 3, whatever the shopkeeper quotes you, quote 50% of that flat out. Rule number 4, if he doesn't offer you a lower quote or match your quote, just pretend to walk away. And the last rule is that always settle for up to 50 to 75% of the originally quoted price. What do you think? Ensconced between impressive buildings built in the 1800s, Causeway offers an eclectic mix of budget hotels, classy restaurants, and inexpensive eateries interspersed with stalls selling everything from real and not so real curios and antiques to clothes, shoes, costume jewelry, and an abundance of items, some of which are so strange and unique you'd be hard-pressed to recognize them. Keep aside a day or two in your itinerary if you want to relish the Colaba experience. It's got something for everyone. The perfect blend of the old and the new. Right now, I'm at the ever-popular Indigo Delhi, enjoying refreshments after a hard day of shopping, like a true blue Mumbaite. Cheers. Mumbai is an archipelago of 7 islands set in the Arabian Sea. And much as the city has a lot to offer, no visit to Mumbai is complete without a romantic ride across the seas to explore the surrounding areas. We're now on our way to the seafront villages of Mandwa and Alibag, about an hour from Mumbai by ferry and famous for a wide variety of attractions. And if you have a day or two to spare when visiting Mumbai, make sure you make this trip as well. Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan in the 1990s in his film Agnipath put this village on the map with his famous lines. My name is Vijay Dinanath Chauhan and my village is Mandwa. And if the word village conjures up an image of a peaceful, sleepy and rustic place, then Manwa fits your bill. Manwa and its sister village Alibag officially lie in the Raigad district of Maharashtra. But their proximity to Mumbai make these popular getaways, especially during the weekends. The pristine beaches, the abundance of a variety of water sports, and a 17th century sea fort are just a few attractions Manwa and Alibag offer the casual visitor. And then there are the several Koli settlements where you can get a peek into the day in the life of the Konkan region's very first inhabitants. Now the Kolis have been here way before my forefathers set foot here. And they have for centuries lived and continue to live by the sea and off the sea. A few simple facts about the Kolis. They were the first settlers in these islands, arriving here circa the Stone Age. They still possess their very own unique identity and live in communities that span the length and breadth of the western coast of India. And their entire lifestyle revolves around fishing. Well, the Koli lifestyle may seem simple, but their daily profession looks like some serious hard work. Let me try my hand at sorting this fresh catch that has just arrived. Now, मला पण मदत करायचं. This is exciting. I want to be a part of this. Okay, this is confusing. Sorting fish is surely not as simple as it looks. हे कसं करायचं?
असं फक्त हातात धरून ठेवायचं असं.
Not sure if they'll employ me. Heads na heads. When fish lands up on your plate, be sure that I worked hard to get it to your plate. Be nice. This is hard work. I've tried my hand at this. It's not for me. I prefer my fish frozen, thawed and fried. You certainly have to admire the spirit of the Kolis. They work hard and party hard. And I've really taken a liking to them. Koli women are gorgeous. And I'm humble. They've been here for millennia. They live simple, they eat simple, they are simple, and they have this colourful, never say die, happy spirit. Most tourists view Manwa and Alibag, which are barely some 20 kilometers apart, as a single destination. Alibag was first developed in the 17th century by the naval chief of the great Maratha warrior king Shivaji. But today its claim to fame is of a different kind, and it attracts adrenaline junkies from all over the region. Alibag and Manwa's beaches are fast becoming popular for sports as diverse as sea kayaking, parasailing, banana boating, jet skiing, to the extent that I'm hard-pressed to figure what I should try first. Ultimately for me, it all boils down to new experiences. And since, believe it or not, the one thing I've never tried is jet skiing, you know what I have in mind. point, then there's no better way to explore the Konkan. Its forts, beaches, its resorts and all its natural splendor than by train. For over 100 years, discerning travelers have concurred that India is best explored at ground level. And you haven't really experienced India if you haven't experienced the great Indian railways.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
And if you ever really have to make a case for the age-old adage, it's the journey that counts, then look no further than the Deccan Odyssey. While most trains wind their way around India's diverse terrain, this is one of the few that actually transports you centuries back to a time when Indian royalty defined the standard of luxury. This is a long train. The Deccan Odyssey offers you a taste of the past with all the modern-day comforts. There are 2 dining cars, Peshwa 1 and Peshwa 2. Oh, thank you. Wow. 40 luxurious rooms and 4 luxurious suites. A tastefully designed bar, a gym, a spa, a beauty parlor, and even a recreational lounge. Let me make a long list. Exercise, get my nails done. I can't wait to check out the spa though. That'd be really fun. You get a nice, relaxing massage. This is also a first for me, by the way. I don't think I've ever had a massage on a train. So I'm here with Shoaib. I mean, we just met. We become bestest friends sitting in the lounge of our deck. But tell me something. I mean, since you've done this route so often, what is the singular most fun thing for you on this train?
There are actually 2 things. One is on board and second is off board. On board we have the nice yummy food and the services, whatever you'll just see on the train.
The service here is outstanding.
Yeah, that's on board. And then we have the off board highlights. Like we have mostly the foreigners are enjoying here, like people. They're just seeing colorful faces, like they're seeing heritage, they're seeing culture of India.
It's so much easier because you can get from A to B to C to D on the train, how else can you plan that apart from flying? And it's much nicer to see India on ground level.
Thank you. More than just a window display of Maharashtra's stunning and varied scenic beauty, this amazing train journey gives us travelers a first-hand glimpse of the region. The Deccan Odyssey is the perfect way to explore the Konkan. It takes you on a week-long journey across 7 cities in Maharashtra, and it is truly a luxurious first-class adventure of discovery. Apparently in Tarkali, the trip includes a sojourn to a real Malwani village. And I'm told in Sindhudurg, our next destination, a big traditional welcome awaits us all. The town of Sindhudurg, the first stop the Deccan Odyssey makes, lies in the Sindhudurg district of the Konkan, some 500 kilometers from Mumbai. And although very few trains actually stop at Sindhudurg station, the town is home to one of the Konkan region's most famous tourist destinations, the 400-year-old Sindhudurg Fort. Of course, the Deccan Odyssey can only get you up to a certain point. It's quite a distance to the fort from the station. First, there's a scenic bus drive. And then comes the boat ride into the Arabian Sea. Sindhudurg Fort, you see, is an ocean fort. In fact, it is the Konkan region's most famous ocean fort, built by Chhatrapati Shivaji in the middle of the Arabian Sea. As we have already seen, Shivaji, the greatest Maratha warrior king of all time, had built many forts. But Sindhudurg is unique. It spreads across 48 acres in the ocean, and the only way to get to it is by boat. An interesting feature about Sindhudurg is that when you first approach it, there seems to be no gate to the fort. but this is intentional. Typical of Maratha fort architecture, the main entrance to the fort is always well concealed in order to baffle the enemy. And once you enter its confines, the sheer scale of the fort can be quite overwhelming. For a 400-year-old fort, Sindhudurg is one of Maharashtra's best preserved forts. Its foundation stones lie in 180 kilograms of molten